Welcome, everybody. Welcome to BeoTalk number 344.
Damn.
Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's watching Formula One, if that's still going. Uh, it was supposed to rain here too, but it hasn't, so it's just humid and it's kind of shit.
No, we had some tough stuff going on this week for sure.
Well, we were supposed to get rain for the first time in like 2 weeks, or three now, probably.
No, I think Wednesday night we had it was a tornado by the airport. It took off. It took down one of the Air Canada hangars, and
Oh,
oh yeah, I've a very interesting weather pattern came by because I looked outside and all of a sudden like everything was just snowing. I mean, raining in 90
mm-hmm.
degrees or sideways. And then Kareem showed me pictures of his uh, apartment building. The guys in the penthouse apparently had his entire patio cleaned out, and it fell on the cars, and like it was a disaster.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, not fun. So definitely. Hi, Steve. So yeah, definitely interesting week, and yeah, very interesting week per se.
uh, go to Skinny Play. Buy stuff with the promo code for 10% off. It's in the chat. And also our good friends over at Tigrino Studios, same deal. 10% off with the promo code. Come join the Discord if you haven't yet already. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
That's where you find out most things before they launch.
Pretty much.
It's
But at least it's with decency.
yeah, because like B&O's a sieve.
A little bit.
So it's
It's either they're safe or they're really good at hiding, or they don't have anything planned for the November of this year.
well, they did put out a teaser video on Instagram earlier. Was
What
in
is
the
that?
week.
The Rolling Museum?
No. They so let's go have a look at it. Pull it up. It's come on. It's is it here? Oh, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone.
They took it down. Too fast, too soon, too early.
Yeah, it was on their stories.
Interesting.
And I have no idea where it went. So it probably
Expired.
yeah. Let's see if it's still on the Discord somewhere.
So yeah.
Let's see.
Can you find something?
Yeah.
What's with the audio tape in that?
Yeah, who knows? Maybe they're aiming for a classic again. Maybe we're going back to reel.
You know what? If anything, maybe another turntable again. Because that kind of looks like vinyl, right? A little bit.
Yeah.
That looks like a tape too. So is it a BeoCenter 9000 Classic Edition now that they're gonna redo?
There's plenty around that are still functional, so it would not be
Have one
too
here,
hard.
man, in mint condition with the re-glued glass, bro.
Well, maybe you can sell it for $5,000 pretty soon.
Oh, it sticks. Because I'm sure that there's enough room to nowadays to be putting in the Mozart chip.
Yeah.
If they got it out the electronics, I guess you got to keep the light interface because that's cool. But yeah, I don't know what that is.
From B&O, form and function unite in a creative dialogue between past and present. So that sounds like a recreation of a classic.
To me, it looks like that too. it's gonna be another something of something else that was before.
Yeah. Great username, by the way, Leapin' Lemurs.
Fudge sticks. But yeah, I wonder what that is. I wonder what that is.
I mean, this is what Discord is good for, and thank you. Is it Java as usual? Yeah, of course it's Java. He saves the links and actually posts them. So
Nice.
whenever like the link, the short is gone, you can still watch it.
Nice. Right on. Max Lindecker says, "That's me."
The
Is that
Leapin'
you?
Lemurs.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right on. Right on.
So yeah, let's see what that is. Let's see what the inordinate price will probably be.
We'll see. Did you get an update on your theater or Mozart altogether?
It's prompted me for that yesterday, but since the recent updates, or in the last few years, the updates have been quite buggy at times, I'm not the one jumping on them.
Well, you're not using DPL, right?
No,
Yeah, so then you're fine.
not yet anyway. I mean, it's still here
Yeah.
and there.
Yeah, these I would definitely put the new software on. Well, I guess they're gonna as soon as you turn them on or do a request. But so far, positive experience, I have to say.
Well, that's good. Finally, nothing breaks when you update things.
We had a gentleman in Mont Tremblant, which is about an hour and a half from my house, up north. About 3 levels, one in the bedroom and 2 stereo pairs, right?
Yeah.
Fuck. And the Kareem spent I don't know how many hours on the phone with him, right, trying to get it going. Because one of the like, it's inexplicable what was going on because he couldn't like he powered it down, but I think he was misoperating too, right? Because
Yeah.
it's like a blind leading a blind, and the guy's 80 years old, so no disrespect, but sometimes they just don't understand what you're asking them to do, right? Especially in the app and so on and so forth. So, and the problem is that once that thing is offline, there is no PHC in the world that can save it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's offline. So I ended up going for a service call on Friday to drive out all the way to bloody Mont Tremblant to fucking deal with this. Come in, take all 3 levels, stack them on the table, the breakfast table sitting there, power them all off to battery standby, turn on the first one, booted it, put it on the network, plays. Okay, shut it down, put a battery standby, basically took it off, did it 3 times. Then I powered off the last one. Then I took the 2, stereo pair them. They work no problem for a second. Booted up the bedroom one, try to joins no problem. Okay, sweet. This is after 45 minutes of going back and forth. What the fuck, man? And then I put it all to standby, right? Because I'm this far. I'm gonna play with it for a while, right, to make sure, right, that the daily operation, right, okay, turned on, so I'm leaving, right?
Yeah.
So I play with it. All of a sudden, fucking network link stops working, right? I'm like, what is that? There's no way. So I couldn't join. I joined, but all you see is like on the app, you can see the volume go up on the level, but there's no sound. What? That's all that came out of it. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, what else do you have here other than this bloody router in the office, right? Like, do you have any like the pods, whatever they call them here? The extenders. And it's like, oh yeah. Fuck, under a Glade plugin and the little desk thing, right? That it's by the door, which is like 15 feet away from the office where the router sits, 20 feet from the router, right? There's this fucking extender. And it's literally like when you have the hose kinked and then you let go and it just starts, the water just goes on the lawn and shit. I unplug it, dude, everything just turns on. Like it just starts playing. And I tell him, like, you know what, take this and throw it in a tall grass. Or actually, no, you have to return it because it's a $5 a month and they're going to charge you for it if you're not already paying. Because that's what they do. Bell here actually charges you $5 a month for extra extender that they'll give you.
God, because your Wi-Fi is so shit, you need them.
But they're mesh network and they're very, very crap, right?
Yeah.
So it just man, it totally kiboshed the entire experience. And I said to him, like, bro, you in the middle of the woods. There is 5 other wireless networks, and only 3 of them have like 4 bars, right? Which are your immediate neighbors. I'm like, why do you need extenders, boosters, and shit here? Take that off. Don't. You plug that in, all this stops working. Plugged it in, done. Unplugged it, starts. I'm like, okay, no more of that. Return it back. You're not paying $5 a month for headache that it becomes our problem is insolvable, and then B&O is the bad guy, right? Because you sold me shit that doesn't work.
Yeah,
right? Because that's what it'll eventually boil down to, right? Because it's a $7 piece of shit in the wall that's screwing up your entire Wi-Fi, and you would never know with the Apple products because they silently hop on between 5G and Wi-Fi. Depends, right? Like,
yeah.
you don't know. Oh my god, right? So I guess it was almost an hour and a half. So I pushed the service software into it. I'm like, there is no way in hell, but the AirPlay would work. AirPlay would work. Even if I disable the AirPlay on the speakers, it would work. So I do not understand what that does. I mean, more or less has to either quarter or half the bandwidth because it allocates the bandwidth to communicate between it and the router, right? And then that stupid pod goes to each of the products, and B&O is pretty traffic heavy.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Ubiquity tells you what uses the most data and whatnot, right? And it tells you per app and per device, and it's like,
That's a lot. That's a lot that goes on in B&O's devices nowadays. A lot more than we ever think, and that's the networking is crucial. So, anyways, unplugged all that. So played with it for a bit, little bit, this and that. On off this that. Unplugged one, unplugged the other, unplugged the primary speaker from the stereo paired. Right, put it back on. Fuck everything pairs, no problem whatsoever.
Also 15 feet, 20 feet, or whatever it is, seems really close to need a network repeater already.
No, that's nonsense. They'll just give it to you because they charge you $5 extra a month, right? They fucking bleed you bullshit money, and then then they can also charge you for the service calls because if your stuff doesn't work at some point, we as a shop are going to be like, this is impossible, right? Like we either replace our network with ours, right? Or we just like we got to fix it fucking somehow.
Yeah. I think our
And
ISP here loves sniffing out your data as well, but I found out that on the what you call it, on the fiberglass or whatever the line,
optical, yeah.
that you can just like install it once. It loads the parameters in the box from glass to like RJ45, and then you can use whatever you want. So I'm doing that.
That's what we usually do when we just take over the network. We put that bullshit in the bridge mode. But the problem with that is also that.
I'm not even using it. It's not even plugged in. It's like.
Oh, no. Like here you have to, like, let's say you have a coax coming in. Like you need that convert that somehow into fucking RJ45 output, right? So that box, you have to put it in the bridge mode here per se. So it just gives one IP out and that goes into your router and then that disseminates down to the switch and yada blah blah yada, right?
Yeah.
But what I found over time that Videotron every now and then pushes silent updates. Bell, I don't know much because I haven't really seen that happen as often. But there's a lot of our majority of our clients, I would say, are Videotron when it comes to even the larger installations.
Yeah.
And Videotrons, and I'm saying that also because I see it in our shop that they pushed. It happened to us 3 times in the last 2 years that I've been there, 2.5, I guess. That they pushed the silent update and it basically re-defaulted the router.
Yeah, that seems to be
so it's amazing. Like you come in, and you come in on Monday and it's a Captain wrench toss on everything, right? Because nothing's fucking working now because it changed IPs and blah blah blah, and now everything's out to lunch because we also have static IPs assigned to the products, right?
Yeah,
more or less. Like what's the point of not having a static IP if you have a harmony on the wall that's been there since the beginning of time, right? Like the sound center, even though the sound center has changed on demo sales, blah blah blah, but you still have that display, right? So you just might as well have that done as a static IP. It's easier to deal with. And we had to do it because we ran out of ideas of what was wrong with our fucking network, and then we realized that we are over 24 devices, right, as per BNO's prescription
Yeah,
lately.
Apple is doing this a similar thing now, where like if you have an update, and I don't know, in my case, I have Siri off, right, because I never
Mhm.
use it. Like I don't talk to my devices, but every time you update it, it's on again by default.
Yeah,
Stuff.
it's weird how they kind of silently push that nonsense, regardless if you like it or not.
I think it's all data harvesting.
Of course it is.
So every time
So
you like my phone updates, I have to go back in like turn everything off again. It's like, oh come on, make it stop.
but yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting how this all works here. Uh, but yeah, not much else is new, I guess. Everything is in
Pri-
its old path for now.
Prices are new.
Well, it's kind of somehow U.S. From my understanding, it's the U.S. that's more impacted than Canada at this point
How so? What do you mean?
with the tariffs. That, uh, and I don't think it's not in a way of pricing, but I think that the margins how they moved because they moved that margin off of, into in the U.S. They moved that tariff increase off of the margin of the dealer, so they make what 13% less on whatever that is.
Oof, oof. As a dealer,
Yeah, yeah. So it's a pretty poopy move, from what I understand. Don't quote me on this, but that's what the talk were. I don't know because that was also backed out, and I haven't been in the shop for a while. Not that I'm trying to backtrack my conversation, but I think from what I understand, they're absorbing it by the margin, and the prices are staying the same for the customer, but not for the dealer as far as the cost.
because I mean here, there's definitely stuff has gone up significantly.
Yeah,
It's.
Sunday posted a very interesting picture of his Excel spreadsheet. How much stuff went up
Don't you
in.
love finance bros? They keep track of all that
Oh,
shit.
it's man, but it's like it's a feels bad when you look at that fucking table, you know.
Yeah. I mean, they finally like released this A5 with the oak.
Yeah, we got it in. It's nice.
I mean, they also now wait. They showed it in the video. They have the black version with the aluminium grill on it, which looks stellar. That's I think on their Instagram.
Well, yeah, I think the part of the display now is that we have to or should be getting like extra handles for parts, I guess. But just to display them that this is interchangeable. I don't know who's going to be doing that because we don't have an in-house technician, and it's not. Yes, it's something that I guess the client could make, but are you going to try? That was cool. I saw that just rolled by there.
Yeah, it's not very hard. I mean, you just pop the side pins off, right? And it's I think it's the octagonal thing. What you call it? Inbus.
Yeah, it's a hex key.
Yeah, on the sides, and that's about it. I mean, and the front covers come off quite easily.
See, now we're all back to the bloody app that doesn't match your product.
Yes, yes, they need to allow a lot more pictures.
Either that or do it just like it does it here dynamically. That like you can just basically dress it the same way as the Lab 90s, right?
Yeah.
What's your crowns? What's your sails? What's your panels? Because now, like, if I had somebody, like, if I were to order, let's say, an atelier version of the 90s, right? Or you buy those samurai editions for Quartermelon, whatever it is now, right? I would love that to be it showed exactly that in my app. I would be insistent on that.
Yes, you would expect that for
That much money.
I think it's 250,000 euro, so it might be more here.
Fuck. So yeah, it's like 300 something US.
Yeah, and it's like 400 something Canadian.
It's a $500,000 set of speakers
Yeah.
if I were to buy them in Canada.
I mean,
Yeah, it's a lot.
they are cool. I'm not sure they're worth
They're not
it.
gonna sound any different. That's the difference, I guess, or that's the catch, right? But yes, they are very unique, but they're gonna sound the same to mine. They're
Though,
gonna be
if I had
fucking
that sort of
heavier.
money to just lose, I would just probably get them.
I don't know if I were to do that. I don't think the inner economy in me would let me do that. If I don't had copious amounts of money, but I would get 2 pairs of just white ones.
Not
You
matching
know?
50s rears, you want dual 90s.
Just dually the 90s up, man. Dually the 90s up, and then get like 2 pairs of 8s for the ups, and then the theater 77 maybe to run it with.
I mean, you really hate your walls and your foundation and the fasteners that
But then
much.
we're not talking. If I had that much money, I wouldn't be living in an apartment. I would probably segregate myself somewhere a little bit further out. That has the only thing I would need is stable power and internet, really,
Well, I don't
and
live in an
water, I guess.
apartment, and the missus was watching Kingsman yesterday, and I was outside, and every so often, I was like, "Whoa," and it's like, what the fuck is that? And I walk in, it's like, oh, okay, now it makes sense.
Going the app volume is at 65.
I mean,
Yeah, they have power, man.
I was surprised how much bass still came out the house when everything was shut.
No, and that's my problem too. That even here, like when I listen to music, I got into the bulldozer as I was showing you earlier on the pod before we got online. So I've been listening to the 90s and the bench preset, and yeah, it gets a little bit too bassy after a while, honestly. And if I watch podcasts now, I switch it directly just to the theater because of the. It's just too much on the 90s when you listen to it. The bass, just the bass is killing.
Yeah, it's the
It's the Mozart sound to
plosives
them
and
now.
the S's, and some people don't really tune their audio for that.
Well, even in speech, it still pops quite a bit.
Oh no, I know, but that's why you
But
have
that's the
like
90s, like
that's why you have these sort of things on microphones,
yeah,
right? And or the screens that you hang in front of them. But
yeah, the pop screen.
but some people listen back on basic headphones, and if you don't hear it, it's not there. But
Yeah,
I
when
mean,
you roll a podcast through the 90s, you can hear every detail, I guess, even you don't want to.
I mean, a while ago,
listen.
I was watching some channel, and it had this like where you could donate to. Was it? I think it was hurricane victims or something like that, right? And every time that banner, there was a sound attached to that banner rolling in. And I don't think they've ever listened to it on big speakers, probably just AirPods or something. But like, I nearly rolled off the couch. That's how much bass there was. It's like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy how sometimes this the audio is tuned. Oddly, here I find some clients complain that, and it's not even complain. It's just weird how that is locked. That all the hockey games here are just 2-channel stereo. And even on the Avant with the full surround speaker system, it only goes through the left and right. I don't know how they locked it. Like they force lock it, but it's not. Every single place I've been to, like when you watch hockey, it just goes to stereo, especially live.
It probably has to do with whoever airs it and what
Bandwidth allocation and also how much they're allowed to push. Because all the American sports are in surround.
Yeah, some of them are in 8K now, and it's like, or at least the cameras are, and it's like you get this really weird depth of view thing going on, and I'm not sure I like it. Like I was telling
One
you
thing,
earlier, I refuse to pay for ESPN anyway because all I want to watch is Formula One, and it's too expensive.
well, and it's just death by thousand cuts because if you think about all these subscriptions, even when you watch stuff on Prime, it's like you rent this or you want to watch this series, then you got to make an account in this now, and you lose track of it till you look at your bank account. All of a sudden, you're paying $200-300 to subscription services that you maybe consume 2-3 shows out of. For God's sakes, it's too much.
I mean, it's $110 a year for, I don't know, so 44 hours. That's like, yeah, no, it's not worth
Yeah,
it.
it's a lot.
I'll watch a recap or something because those are free.
Yeah, you know it all.
Yeah.
Right there. Grab more soda. But yeah, it's I'm honestly streaming. Not actually. Now I thought about it the other day. Should I move back to Tidal?
Why? What did you experience?
Nothing. I just now that it's the cat's out of the bag, I guess, for the software, and it actually is as a source now on the Beosound 2 and whatnot. Then and it's linkable with the Avant. Like I'm thinking of doing like to go back to it because then I guess the benefit is that it works on the headphones to utilize that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Gokilo says move back to Tidal, well worth it. But I don't know, like I'm not moving to Tidal because the sound quality is better per se. Like reading some posts on the Discord. I don't know if you got to see that. I forget who. I think it was I forget who posted it.
Could have been Max H.
No, I think it's the NV whatever that.
Okay, but
Well, regarding the codexes, or Flores maybe said it. I don't know. Somebody posted it, like just the way that these are packaged in the codex that you actually get, and
oh, you mean Guy, the not quite high net worth individual?
Yes. So he had a very interesting point, but for me, like honestly, it matters in a way that, see, like if I want to listen to like a high res music, I have all of my library digitized in, well, they're Windows Media Audio lossless because I come from the times where Beosound 5 was fucking cool.
Yeah.
And that did that in that format, unfortunately, which at that time it was spawned from or grandfathered into the Beosound 5 from the Beo player, which was first introduced in 2000, right? When the BeoLink PC came out as a more or less, it looks like an active kit, but it had a USB connection and a sound out or sound input from the sound card line output, right? You could connect it to it so you can actually listen to your system through the actual PowerLink speakers and control it with the BO4 if your BO player was running inside. And that was basically the first time that the network radio was introduced, and I think B&O more or less, not, I don't know if they've invented it, but they were the first ones to actually collate all of those radio stations from all over the world into one coherent platform, which was the net radio or N radio, right? Which now we're going 25 years back on it. So that was great, and it still works. What's this? How much are they now? They went up a little bit. Yeah.
70,500 USD for the cloth and oak, which is spicy.
Yeah.
Because that's X sales tax, obviously, depending on where you are. Like if you're in Chicago, that's painful. Same if you're in New York. I think in Chicago, sales tax is like 11% or something like that.
It's not as bad as in Montreal or Quebec, more or less 17%.
Yeah. Over here, it's not so bad. I think it's 7 or 7.5% here.
It'd be cheaper for me, like if I were to buy them, to have them shipped, like drop shipped to my mom's house, and then just have a pallet sent back to me.
Yeah, or drive over and pick them up even.
Yeah, well, that's not really a question because it's 4 days in there and 4 days back.
Yeah, but it's the journeys you do.
Oh,
It's not the destination.
It's nothing better than bite your nails with the fucking U-Haul van and a pair of 50s in the back, right? To go across Canada. Bon voyage. No, thank you.
Yeah, or you can just rent an MPV or something like that.
Fuck that, man. It's $500, maybe $600 to ship it across on a nice. I would do Quick X because that's the company that I've always dealt with. Never had an issue with it. So.
But yeah, the 50s are, compared to launch, inordinately expensive now.
Mm.
I mean,
I think the one thing that they completely forgotten about really is the Beosound shape. That also had a little bit of a price buff, but it wasn't touched for a while. I don't know if I just fucked it up for everybody and they're going to increase the price on the next run, but
well, the BeoConnect Core got the increase, right? So the shape did get a price increase, but
technically,
not really.
yes.
Gopal asks, would you recommend using a BeoConnect Core with Type-C to USB-B?
For what?
For what purpose? Yeah. Maybe. I mean, if you have 50s or 90s, sure. Otherwise, no.
I don't know if it started to work correctly inside that inside the software. Inside the
well, it works,
core.
right? It's just that you don't have wide narrow control, but you do have that control in the Beano app on the 50 side, so you can change it.
Or be a baller and have a halo.
Yeah,
thanks, Ben Anderson. It's been a long time we've been at it yapping. Believe that we never met in person. Fucking 7 years, bro.
Yeah.
God, it's.
But
anyways,
you chose to live over there in.
I chose, yeah. I mean, oh boy,
it's way too cold. Yeah, the midnight Parisian night blue, whatever, with walnut is only a cool 203,004. Like, this makes no sense, right? Why is there like $400? Like, does that really kill you if that was a round number?
I think you should negotiate. That's what you get to your negotiating power. Can you make it 203? 203 even, fudge.
Just 600 more, right? Like, we can make it even.
They don't even do the 99 thing on the back of it. Because this then makes $1 cheaper. Oh, Christ on a cross. I don't know why they do it like that, but that's just what it is. Miami dudes. Hey guys, been a while. I have a theater with Beosound 2 in the back. There's 2 Beosound 2 in the back. Shall I spend the money on a Beolab 19?
Yes.
Yes.
Easily,
and
yes.
I probably would put it even in the, yeah. And you know what? For the sake of just experiment, when you do get it, I would put it to the back of the room. If you have the theater.
Yeah, I'll put it wherever. You just don't put it up front.
100%.
But it's an excellent sub. It easily overpressures this room.
Oh, dude, we watched a movie one night with my girlfriend, and no, actually, it wasn't a movie. I had my apartment in the cleaning mode, and then I got carried away a little bit with my Avant, right? Because I just got the second receiver in there, so I was fucking around with the lap 4s, and the 19 was pumping hard because the music just carries. But it was like 10:30 at night. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh fuck.
Sorry.
Open the door. It's my next door neighbor. Is like, the bass. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I'm like, stay your bedroom on the other side. It's like, yeah. I'm like, fuck, of course it is, right? Like, couldn't have been the office.
I did it wrong. Sorry.
Sorry. So I turned it down, and God, it is what it is. But yeah.
Yeah, but, I mean, if you have the space for it, and if you don't have like any immediate neighbors, like 30 centimeters, 2 feet away from you, then get a 19. It's great. Yeah,
I actually did was it my Monday job or Tuesday job? I think it was Tuesday job because Monday was off. I don't remember. Time just rolls by now. I did an upgrade to a guy that we did an install while back, and he fucking reinforced the crap out of the wall, which I was very surprised. This is one of the first theater 65-inch ones that I had seen that did not sag. Like the level held. I gave it literally just a quarter turn so to keep the bubble push. But when it opens out, man, all 65 inches of it perfectly leveled. Like that wall is done right. And he was the one that upgraded his theater with a set of with the Lab 19. He has a set of Lab 8s as a separate zone. But yeah, man, it's a big step up when you put the subwoofer with this. And I hope if they disco it, that they replace it with something that has either the equivalent or more power. In my opinion, it needs to have a little bit more.
I mean, regardless, it's just a very good sub. It's very linear, which is not usual for most subs. But I mean, a Beolab 2 will like kick the shit out of your room more. But do you really want that? I mean, this is better in more scenarios, right?
Beolab 2 is good on the concrete floor. Even then, it transfers quite a bit. Like that rubber donut doesn't save that. And also the accuracy of it is just it's very 2000-ish.
Yeah.
Back in the day, like you get a lot of power out of it, but then the accuracy just goes away. Especially watching a video of it when I first got my phone. When the high speed was like the 120 frames a second cameras came out on the phones, and you're like fucking taking the slow-mo videos of everything that you can possibly think of. I did watch a Beolab. Yeah, I did watch a Beolab 2, like at a certain, songs that I played through it, how it pumps, and you can see how those baffles just cannot possibly keep up with this huge magnet-driven woofer that is in front of it. So.
Yeah, they're just radiators. They just like flap the sides. But yeah, I really like my 19. It's useless in the living room, but it's perfectly fine here.
19 doesn't matter what floor it sits on, really, because it works on an acoustic balance principle. So the actual vibration is completely canceled out by each woofer fire against one another. So you can put a glass of wine on top of that speaker and it won't even ripple, let alone slide off it. So yes, that just makes pure bass without any transformation or physical transfer to the surroundings, other than to your paper walls with the actual sheer volume of pressure.
And yeah, energy.
And
yeah,
he pushes good, bro. He pushes like noise complaint good.
I mean, I guess the back one is pointed a bit towards something generally, but it's not. It's still pointing in the air, right? It's not like pointing at the floor or anything like that. I mean,
yeah,
they left the 28s pretty much alone, from what I remember.
They're high in price already and expensive enough, and there are still some inexplicable things happening with them software-wise that I see over time, and it's specific to PowerLink mode right speaker.
Like what?
Like it stops working. It opens up, right? The curtains open, signal comes in, fucking no sound, bro. No sound, zero. And the biggest feel bad is that if they are, well, we have ones that are on a wall mount, but those are clearly labeled on the breaker because it's a fucking feels bad to power cycle that speaker from on wall position. And I think that speaker is just the worst design when it comes to serviceability as a client, unless you have it plugged into the wall with a nice sexy cord that kind of sticks around and it's visible. But if you do a clean installation, you are SOL, bro. Like, because you need to take off the wood lamellas, peel off the grill, unscrew the little ding dong, pull the backbone cover off, and then you have access to the power cord. Way too much effort. And especially if that's the wall.
Yeah,
that's the wall bracket.
I forgot that silly backbone cover only got exposed from the front. It's like totally undressing that thing.
Je me souviens, bro. God, so yeah, that's the one thing that I don't like about them. And Well, they're finally, there's another beta release that came out yesterday after they released the proper software. So hopefully that will fix that problem. But I've had one lady that I've visited twice for the exact same issue. And then I have Brad called me and I helped him on the phone. It was also like a half an hour phone call with the right channel 28 on the goddamn power link on an Avant. Wouldn't go. No, Harmony. Sorry, it was a Harmony, and it just would not. And I don't know. See, and that's one of those things that I really disagree with. Like, there should have been the direction switch retention, for God's sakes. Forget the line in, just left, right. Fuck.
Yeah, it's in software now.
And there should have been 2 switches, in my opinion. It should have been left, right, and PL and Mozart.
Yeah, wireless or cabled.
And that's it. Because that Mozart sometimes does worse than good. And I understand that, yes, we sell speakers that are standalone, but man, there's very few and far in between times that I had ever put the system like that together. Like we've sold a stereo.
I rarely see it without a TV or TV type
or a
situation.
core that power links come out of from the TV. Like, there's always a power link going to our speakers, either via the WiSA connection or the actual hardwire PL. If we do installations that, like, let's say it's a Marantz amp, right?
Mm-hmm.
I make the trigger cables that go out to the RJ45, that you can put them into splitter, and then Cat7 goes into each speaker, and you're happy, right? And on the other side is 2 RCA jacks, left and right, and a sacrificial IR cable, which is positive, negative 3.5 mil jack that goes into the trigger out on the amp.
Mm-hmm.
Oof, and that's your speakers, right? So that's one thing that I struggle understanding. Why is the power link experience always affected within the Mozart platform?
I have a feeling because it was designed as a wireless system first.
Then okay, enable the goddamn core to be DPL.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love that.
You know what? Like, that's, in my opinion, that should happen.
I hope they. Honestly, I hope they do. It doesn't even need to be that. It just can be 2.1 DPL or whatever. That's fine. Because, like, even if it's 2 channels and just wire up a 19 with the BeoConnect core, that would be lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, the 8 in that case with the 19 might go to my bedroom if that was the case.
Or if the capability of that Wi-Fi antenna inside it is limited, because obviously it's a small box too, right?
Yeah.
Then what if there's a new, let's say there's a new subwoofer that's come out, then the core should natively handle at least that 1 TPL connection, so you can use the power link output for a stereo channel out, right?
Yeah.
And then just DPL into that subwoofer, which at that point you're getting 1/10 of the signal. So I don't think the stress on the bandwidth would be that much.
No.
Right? To offload that into and now you have a capability of putting a wireless sub into it.
Even the fully fledged wireless connection is not that data intensive.
Do you think they'll ever consider coming out with the DPL receivers, just like we have the WiSA ones?
I should hope so.
I don't think the question was ever asked. I really don't think anybody's ever asked. But I think that
I did a few months ago. I would love it for everything to be pulled into the modern era. Also, the WiSA receivers and transmitters are on their last legs, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, wouldn't you want DPL to, like, especially if you want to be eco, right, and want to reuse everything? Why not?
I agree.
I mean, also,
then you save a lot of speakers.
a chance to make the box a bit nicer, because the receiver one isn't exactly very nice looking. I mean, it's a box. It's nothing special.
Mm-hmm. Just in a quiet mode. Phone is trying to do something. But yeah, I think that whatever comes out next, either software capability wise, I think that they need to introduce the DPL to the bloody core.
I
And I
mean,
know it's possible to do, but then okay, like if you make a DPL receiver, what the fuck would it have in it, right? Obviously an RJ45 for a network, and then another one for the power link. But
do you need
at that
anything
point,
else?
like, well, I guess power, but like, would you not be? It would be smarter if they had it as a PoE.
Yeah.
Because then it saves that stupid wall wart, right? Because it's an issue. Like behind my nightstands, it's a fucking disaster on each side because I have the receiver, the power supply, the lap for the power link, the bloody this and that, and LED lights and the night lamp, and each just a wad of shit. So if they did a PoE DPL receiver,
God, I love
but that
B&O
doesn't make any
sometimes.
sense.
The
But
classics go wireless. The 18s are already wireless. Like, why would I need a receiver one with my 18s?
I know. But yeah, the DPL, I guess the PoE wouldn't make any difference because if you can get PoE to where the speakers are, you can just get fucking, you can just turn them to power link, unless you have a Cat 6 or a Cat 5 cable. That's a different story. But yeah, DPL receivers I think would be a good idea.
Jacob asks, what's the difference between the Beosound 9000 Mark 1, 2, and 3? What model should I go for if you connect it to a Beolink converter and LML? Go Mark 2 or 3 always, if you can. The difference is minimal, but it's like the sled mechanism and the laser from memory.
Also, software is different. Mark 2 and 3, I believe, have net radio, net music versus V tape or A tape 2 and phono.
Yeah.
Versus VOX as well. So also there is no mechanisms available left for Mark 1. Like if that laser dies, then that is just an ornament that if you were able to keep the power on it, then might as well turn the clock on it and just tells time and stories that you can after around it. Mark II, I don't think there's much. There are some Chinese and Mark III Chinese mechanisms that you can buy. And I know the guys here in NDG have them as well. So it is a fixable problem. But I know for a fact that power supplies are completely like they're just unavailable. They're done. So if the power dies in it, that's it. Also, Mark One has a red button switch on the bottom of the 9000 here. Where am I? Right on that side. So it's actual power switch off, where the Mark 2 and 3 don't have it. I believe Mark 2 was the one that they took it off of.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they will all work on the converter the same way as long as you don't have another audio master in the mix, unless it's a Beosound 5 or Beomaster 5, because that software on the master link was written for it a bit differently, I guess, or the way that it interfaces. But if you, let's say, have it with a 9000, then radio and CD will be your radio and CD. Net radio, net music can be your Beomaster 5. And I think you are able to do AMEM as a CD if you have a CD ripper. Or no, CD for CD and AMEM would be your... No, I guess you can run a CD ripper then. You couldn't call up that source. I think then you have a conflict with the CD, because if you press CD, they would both turn on in the same time, from what I remember. Anyways, this goes down fucking 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Cares.
But, I was thinking, like, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I used to have the Beosound 5 with the 9000 tied into it, and Spotify, and the Spotify was my AMM command. That's how old.
I
That's
mean,
2011, for God's sakes.
the one thing that's nice with even the NLML and the 9000 is that you can get like terrestrial radio, right? Like if your internet goes or whatever, like you don't lose your radio. You just need power for it to function.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas
And
like
a good antenna. Depends.
yeah, but I mean, currently with all the Mozart stuff, right? If your internet goes, you have nothing.
Oh
Like-
no, you're hardcore fucked. Unless your hotspot matches your Wi-Fi access point in the house, then you can use your phone. That I do. But the problem is that I still come across that if you reboot your network, the Mozart doesn't necessarily, unless it's hardwired, doesn't necessarily find its way back to receive the data from the signals. It shows on the network, but it doesn't show on the network.
I mean, one of the reasons I keep my Beocenter 2 is because it has terrestrial radio.
That's why I got the 9000. If the
Yeah.
zombie apocalypse come in, I can put a Milwaukee freaking power supply to it and listen to the radio.
Well, not just that, right? We have hurricanes. Shit blows over all the time. Like, and it's most likely you lose power, but if your internet service track loses power, even if you have power, it's like, okay, there's nothing
That's it.
happening.
You're finished. You're finished.
I mean, plus I'm gonna buy one of these whole home generator things, so I will have power, but I have no idea what in the neighborhood will have power.
That's it. That's why it's good to keep your CDs, folks,
Yeah,
because you may need that.
I mean, I could run my server off the generator easily.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I also found another thing out that this gets kind of esoteric, right? Because you have like a whole home generator, but you also have generator inverters.
Okay.
And the difference is kind of enormous because a generator is essentially an engine that spins an alternator and provides current, right?
Yes.
So, which is fine, but when we had it last with Hurricane Milton, we had a generator, but it was very dirty power, I noticed. Because like the Milwaukee M12 batteries, they wouldn't charge.
Interesting.
And I think it's because the just like what Spain had like last weekend, right? Like the frequency wasn't there, like it was out of spec. Because like your generator, depending on the load it pulls, it can give you 120, but it can be at like 58 hertz or 62 hertz, because there's no control over that really.
Mm-hmm.
And then the generator inverter does exactly the same thing, except it produces AC that then gets converted to DC, that then gets converted to AC again.
So it stabilizes it.
Yeah, so there's regardless of what the draw is on the engine or your alternator, you get the same out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a steady voltage and frequency. And I like last time I just didn't have the ability to hook up all the Ubiquiti stuff. And I don't know how well that works with dirty power, but I was like the coffee machine worked, right? But as soon as you put a pod in and pressed OK, it like you would hear the generator go.
Just holy fucking 1300 watts, you asshole, is what you want.
The thing is, the generator was like 7.5 kilowatts, right? But you heard it go up and down by just the draw of.
Yeah, but that was like a 7.5 Chinese kilowatts worth of spec, probably. If you put a freaking coffee machine to it, and it's already on its knees.
No, it wasn't. But you would hear it go up and down depending on the stage it was. Like it powered everything just fine, but like I did note
changed on the engine, I guess.
Yeah, but also like it like if a few lights were on it, right? You could see them literally go down, up, and it's dirty power. And don't get me wrong, like this power saved us and saved all our food and all our fridges and all that sort of stuff. But I
couldn't run my 50s through it.
Well, you wouldn't want to.
Of course not, for God's sakes.
I mean, even if you could, like even if you had the power, right? I don't know how long these power supplies last with dirty power.
Not long.
And like because I mean most modern power supplies Like in the 50s, right? They don't care if it's 50, 60 hertz. That's all fine. But if how much below 50 is fine and how much above 60 is also fine, I
Or
don't
how
know.
much time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, yes, it'll cost quite a bit more to get an inverter generator, but it's gonna have many benefits. So,
Do it.
I mean, the only other option really is to get like a Tesla Powerwall or something like that.
I don't trust the goddamn batteries in my house, man.
They're super cool, but they're so expensive.
Yeah.
Like the Powerwall without installation is like 10 grand.
See, and that's not the shit that I could help you with installing other than putting screws on the wall. God is like that's
It's not screws, it's fucking bolts the size of my thumb.
screws, bolts, whatever, but
Because
still
you're
the same.
hanging like 600 pounds or something at least, right?
Yeah, it goes to the foundation wall, I take it, right?
Yeah.
Plus you need to bring the power to it.
Yeah, but you can have like solar or whatever. But like the transition is instant, right? So if the street goes out of power, like you'll never know in your house. Like you maybe get like your light that does that for literally like a tap. Like it's more like, did I blink slowly once or something, and you're fine.
Babalola has a question. LG OLED C48 panel paired with Beosound stage. BeoRemote 1 issues. BeoRemote 1 stops working after initial TV switch on. Remote starts only working with, again, by launching the BNO app in the LG TV. I think you need to change your batteries in the BeoRemote 1 is what that sounds like to me. Because you're only getting one command out of it at this point.
Do you have the Ethernet cable between the stage and the TV?
Because I would assume they did if they already have the remote.
We assume, but I've run into this before with a similar question.
Yes.
Have you set in the app under remote control? You can toggle the thing on for like UC9 would be a remote.
Yeah, enable BeoRemote. Yes, basically is. But that's only in-app remote.
Are you using the BNO supplied Ethernet cable?
There's no supplied cable with the shape.
Stage. Right?
No, stage doesn't have a supplied cable. Only HDMI comes with it. Maybe in the yesteryears of time it did, but last 2 years that I've been installing them, not a fucking chance.
Do you know what cable it is? Because I had like a shit ton of issues like last year with my stage. And it's because I use a double shielded cable. And I changed to a Cat5e cable and it's been fine.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy, right? Like, I don't know. It needs to be unshielded for some reason.
I don't know what's changed. Mine has no issues as far as I have the original like provided cable in the theater because I figured, you know what, I'm going to keep it till let's see if it fails or not. Got a knock on freaking wood. Never had an issue with it.
Also, have you downloaded the B&O app? Just running through the spreadsheet of issues, right?
The BeoHelp.
Yeah.
The BeoHelp spreadsheet. But
I mean, I understand your feeling. I've been through them recently myself. Last year, was it? Because I was annoying you, like why the fuck does my remote stop working? Because like Babalola, I all of a sudden like I just volume up down. Like you watch something and then it's like, okay, I'm done now, and nothing works anymore after that. Like, and you hadn't touched it. It's like, what the fuck? Turned out to be the Ethernet cable that solved it all for me.
Maybe that's why they stopped pushing the internet cable into the box. Or Ethernet cable.
I grabbed initially when I installed it, I think I had a Cat7 cable in it because it was one of the shorter ones I had on hand after moving. And it was fine for the first year. Then there was an update and it was no longer fine. And then that's when I started bothering you and we couldn't figure it out. And
turned out to be a bloody wire, yeah.
Changed out the Ethernet cable for a shit one, and it was perfect.
I honestly think that they have a still issue, or they just bought so many of those cables and the quality control just shit the bed on it. Because majority of the ones that I had faulty with the Beosound theater was pin 7/8. The last two pins were not terminated properly, or something was wrong with that wire. I don't know why.
Just like everybody has issues with the supplied Ethernet cable on the theater, right? Like it's
At
just
some point, they will.
it's just a shit cable, and I don't like it's even the what you call it, the rubberized coating on it. It's like this is so loose. It's like
What kind of a Best Buy,
Best Buy cables are better.
Black Friday nonsense deal that you guys get? It's like a gas station Ethernet cable.
Yeah, it's like you forgot to crimp it or something. Like the heat shrink, right? Like you forgot to crimp it around the actual cables. Like what the hell?
Yeah, I
man?
don't like it. It's not good. It's not good. I don't like to use them, to be honest. And mostly what we do, thank heavens that cable is not long enough for the way we run the wires sometimes when you put the stuff on the wall. So we use 7 or 12 foot Cat 6E regular Joe Blow cable. Banco is the brand, actually.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they
same.
fucking work, man.
I use God, I think it's a blue Cat 5e cable, and it's like it's just sort of
One of
dumped
those
in
like when
yeah.
DOS was invented.
I think. I mean, it's way too long. I think it's like 7 meters long or something. But and it's like hot tier garbage, but it works. Somehow
it's
the Cat
interesting
7
sometimes.
rated B&O cable is worse. But I also have a feeling from my experience with the stage that the whole problem is the grounding, right? As in, like, for some reason, it doesn't like it when it's grounded from one device to the other. I don't know
I
if the
agree. I
shielding,
don't know
like,
what it is.
carries signal that interferes, but when that shielding is gone, it's fine.
Yeah, surprisingly, I don't have that issue, and I'm using that shielded cable in my theater. But I know what you're saying, because there's been times where we had to change the cable because it was a disaster.
Yeah. Because, like, the cat cables I'm using for both TV control, like even the RJ45 thing is not shielded, right? It's just bare plastic you look through. It's I mean, the tolerances are quite loose, but like it's one of those you can wiggle and it still works and it's still fine.
Maybe that's just what it needs.
Yeah,
But I've seen those on the VESA mount specifically that or provided B&O wire kind of vibrates itself a little bit too loose out of the socket, and it loses the contact points, and then you get this Ethernet cable is connected, Ethernet cable reconnected. Your
yeah.
Beosound theater has been connected. Your Beosound theater has been disconnected. Well, what is happening?
Could also be an update. It's updates to this shit.
No, with updates, what I see that when the theater has an update, it shuts the screen off and it really doesn't come back. It just stays in standby.
Generally, post update, if I turn the TV on, I get a bunch of like it's connected, it's disconnected, it's connected, it's disconnected, and then it stabilizes and then it works. Like
I never see that. I never see that.
It's just sort of like in my personal manual now, just turn it on and let it be for a bit, and then it'll be fine.
You guys figure this out. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Shit better be on by then. Wow. Yeah, no, thankfully I don't have those problems. But yeah, sometimes you need a more or less a degree, not just in know-how, but patience with B&O. A lot of patience, especially when it comes to troubleshooting that stuff. One thing I don't like about the theater is that you're still unable to, let's say, like I've had an issue with the DPL, correct?
Yeah.
We have 4 Beolab 8s DPL'd into the theater.
Mm-hmm.
It decided to fuck up, right? Completely. So Kareem reset one speaker, then obviously that went even further down the hill. But that doesn't matter. The last 3 of them, I'm like, okay, well, I need to reset all of them, right? So I just nuke them all, put them all in the network, then go to the DPL, find them again. But then I go to the list of added speakers. Now I have 8.
Wait, it
because
doesn't repopulate the same.
It did not delete, and I couldn't delete them. If you want to delete those speakers, you have to delete all of your listening presets because they're occupied in those presets, so it won't let you delete them.
So you need a factory reset, essentially.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same for Wysa if the speaker is no longer within range. That like
it just says missing, and then you go disconnect, and it says working for a little bit, and then it goes away. But that's a memory that I have from an Avant.
Yeah.
That's not how this works on the theater. It still shows it as a ghost speaker that's connected.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying.
And the Wysa ones, the way that they show is they actually are deleted. They replace themselves in the connected speakers. But when you make a speaker preset or listening position, and then you go and all of a sudden you have, let's say, 4 Beolab 8s that are connected Wysa and 4 are grayed out missing because that's the same ones that you just fucking reconnected. So it's when there's an issue like that, I just go in and I'm like, you know what? It's one of those that you take a wooden stick, you bite down on it, and you just factory the shit out of everything.
Well, you have to.
It's easier to do that than trying to patch fix the problem A that creates a problem B, and now you fix that and it's onto the C, and then you never really run out of the letters.
Yeah. It's
with Mozart, my troubleshooting is whatever there is as a patient. I show me the patient, go right to it, fucking factory reset. First, if there's an issue that operationally, I'll ask a client to show me how you use it, and I'll tell you what you're doing wrong. But if they just press a my button and nothing happens and shit's lit up, then we have an issue. Reset or reboot the thing and restart their $25 Bell router if it's probably even less money than it costs them for them to make it than that. And it sucks now because everything's going towards the wireless, and the problem is that also what's becoming cool is a high density population, which means now you have apartments like these that have fucking 20 to 30 networks all around you screaming. Depends how high you live. If you live up to the top floor, then you have it reduced by a significant amount, corner unit per se. But you have all that competes with what you have inside the house, and then you make that installation and it works now, but then somebody else rebooted fucking something below you, and now that channel just got taken up by that router because your shit was in standby and it just missed the clock. You know what I mean? How do you explain that to the client?
I think I had that actually the last 2 days with the Moment, because like the 18s and 19 are on Wysa, and like the new Ubiquity access point is right there, and it was fine for the first week and until it wasn't. And was it Thursday? Woke up and like all speakers are blinking green.
Fuck.
Like, huh? And initially it was only that one. It's like, what the hell's going on? I don't understand. So like I reset the Moment and then reset the speakers, and they find each other fine, and then try to play music. Only one speaker comes on. That one. Like the subwoofer doesn't play, that one doesn't play. It's like, what the hell is going on? So I set everything to default for like latency, network latency again, because they tied that in the latest update on the Moment, and it's like weird, but whatever. And it's a bit better. 5 minutes later, it's only one speaker again, no sub. The sub like comes in and out all of a sudden. It's like, boh, boh.
Weird.
Like it's literally like green and red. It's up again. So it's like, what the hell is that? So I just changed the channel which the 5 gigahertz is on to like something way far away from what the main access point is, and it's fine again.
I think that's what might have been my issue with my Lab 4s on the receivers falling off, because we talked about this, I think, with you, and then I was talking to Brad, and Brad's like, well, like, do you know if the software is up to date on the receivers? I'm like, I know it's up to date on one. I don't remember on my 19. Like, it's been years.
Yeah.
Fucking never had it connected to the theater because I know theater updates everything. So believe it or not, if you turn on the theater to connected speakers and you go search for WISA, and I pair the speaker to it without closing the window. I went to product health, looked my shit up, saw it was up to date, and then I removed that speaker and it deleted itself, because once you go save, it saves it in the app, and then you never be able to delete it. So at least I figured that out, that you could trial and error a speaker, but not actually add it to your system. But yeah, no, all my stuff was up to date, and then it stopped working. But I honestly think that it might be my Wi-Fi
Yeah.
that's kicking off the bloody.
In the end,
Avant.
I factory reset everything in no luck. The only thing that made it stable is getting the 5 gigahertz to a totally different network channel. Because like the main one is I think on channel 6 or something. The main access point. I think this the one in my office here was on, I don't know, channel 40, something like that. And apparently that was just problematic. I changed the channel for the 5 gigahertz to like channel 162 or something like that, and it's been stable ever since.
Maybe that's what I'll do after the podcast. I'll look into my router and see what I have in there. Because fuck, I haven't even logged into this thing ever since they put it on that in that cabinet thing. I mean, maybe I should also check if it's narrow or wide bandwidth for the channel allocation, because it should be narrow instead of wide, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's strange. Like, it was never really a problem, and then it was a problem for 2 days, and now it hasn't been a problem, and not much has changed. Ever since I did put this access point in, though, my network can see a lot more shit around the house. Like, if I look on my phone for like available networks, there's like 3 and like 2 washing machines from the neighbors, right?
Yeah, that's so weird. Like, I have a lot of that is access points from the freaking appliances nowadays in the apartments.
But if I go to the Ubiquity app and see what my network can see, I can see so many cars around me.
Really?
It's Cadillacs, BMWs. Yes.
They got their own hotspots and shit?
Yes.
Ooh, time for a tinfoil hat.
It's over-the-air updates and that sort of thing. You can... God, I see at least 20 of my neighbors' cars, right?
That's insane. I wonder how easy they're hackable. Fuck. Like that, I would worry about that. That's why I like my Audi dumb. Still.
Yes.
Dumbest bag of hammers. And I do have a Wi-Fi access point in mind, but I have it disabled.
But it's kind of crazy. It's because the list is like, I see like at least 80 or 90 devices that aren't in my house.
Interesting.
I mean, varying strengths, of course, but still.
That's concerning.
Yes.
A little bit. That I saw, man. Cool as hell. I wish they made a white one, but that's cool. That's very cool. I wonder if you can order these, because I haven't seen anything on BeoWise about it.
I want these so badly.
Oh,
this
dude.
This is the only way I'll ever own 90s.
They're probably like $1,000 if they're keeping it up with the real pricing.
I mean, I told the missus I need to buy some B&O again. And she said, what? What do you need to buy? I said, I need to buy some 90s again. She's like, what? Again? It's like, yeah, well, I'm considering buying some 90s. It's like, no. Just no. I said, they're this big. It's like, wait, what?
No, they're so cute. They're so cute.
This may be the only way I'll ever own 90s.
I wonder if it's the same company that makes them, that makes those Eames small replicas, like the Eames chair.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the company, but I looked at the fucking chair is $1,200, and it's you can't sit on it. It's a 1/8 scale.
Can you have your cat sit on it?
No, it's like literally, it's this big. Like it's little set that would look great with the 90s.
If it fits, it sits, right?
If
That's
it
what
fits,
cats
it
do.
sits. I wonder if it's 3D printed and they just sanded it down nicely and painted it, or it's 3D printed with different colors.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
But
nowadays we have the capability, right, to actually 3D print stuff like that.
I've been wanting another set of miniatures for
Hmm.
years now because they were so cool.
At this point, I think it's too late for the Harmony as a miniature, but definitely a theater should be a fucking miniature. Theater 50s, 90s. Lab 8s, they think they're too little dingly, I think. They'd be way too
Probably.
small. 28s, you could do those.
Yeah.
You could do the 18s as well, but those are gone soon, I'm sure. Maybe Lab 8s you could do like on table stands, because that would actually be like feasible. Tick, tick. Make a little chessboard game out of it. I would love that.
Yeah, like what Anders says, I hope this is merch for their 100th.
Hmm.
Like, this would almost be equally as cool as an actual product for the real Beonuts, right?
Oh, 100%. If you can buy your collection in a small model,
I have no idea how you get any of these. I guess if you
neither do
have a
I.
contact at B&O, ask them.
Look, my friend, but I don't think there was anything even announced about this.
But I want them badly.
I do too. I do too, my bro. That would be sweet. PO.
I mean, they seem to be of like yes, miniature, but of a decent size. They seem to be about like this big, right?
Yeah, they're gonna be a hefty.
Like they seem like they're like I don't know 6 inches tall or so, 5-6 inches tall, which is like 15 centimeters or something like that.
Don't see anything.
So yeah, I mean, I hope they do the 50s as well.
Yeah, the only thing I saw was a retailer pack, but that was like scents and scented candles for from
Yeah,
April 25th orders. But that's about it. But yeah, these would look cool, man. But yeah, even if they're 3D printed, they're still nice. I'm sure you can get companies now to 3D print these exactly like they are colored.
yeah, but if they don't know what they are, they're gonna get it wrong essentially.
What do you mean?
I mean, B&O has the exact specs right into what it's
The
supposed to
3D
be.
model of it too, yeah,
Yeah,
I guess.
and like yes, you can sort of make them, but kind of sort
I
of
think that there's a possibility to download in the architectural package suite that you can download the drawings
yeah.
or just the. I know that back in the yesteryears, like I used to download the 3D models into my AutoCAD from B&O and scale them in when I was doing my plans. And when I was doing it on Revit, you could actually import this shit, and then like it would be in 3D in the room. It looks sick.
Yeah.
They
I
call it the
for,
Aspire collection.
yeah, I forget where you put them Anders because he has the old miniature home somewhere.
Mm.
Uh,
Let's see if I
anyway,
can find those. 'Cause that would be cool.
I
But
mean,
yeah, that's a nice set. I think they should definitely come up with that.
your future walnut cover.
That's it. I wonder how much they are if they're gonna make them.
It's just gonna crack some walnuts, like glue it on the front.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I really like that. I wish, yeah, the 50s definitely need to be part of that. 28, eights on a table stand, I guess you could go with. They could do a contour, but I think contour also has its days numbered. unless they keep the chassis and they reintroduce another soundbar, because that's the only thing that's missing now is and the harmony for Mozart platform.
Yeah.
But I don't see harmony going to a Mark II Mozart.
I think it's just going to cause way too many issues. It's going to cause issues in sales, in resales, in Second Life for Europe. If anything, right, it's going to have a different name to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Because you need to retest it anyway. You might as well call it the BeoVision Century or whatever the hell.
Maybe that's what the new one is. That'd be cool if it was.
Yeah.
They should definitely call one of their products a Century for sure. Well, they had a Beosound Century, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah, which is fine, right? Because they've called things 1 and 2 before, and that was okay.
Or take the name again, like Beosound 1, Beosound 2, Avant.
Yeah. I mean, as we all know, their naming makes no sense anyway. Like, the Beolab 1 is way bigger than the Beolab 3, but the Beolab 3 is way smaller than the Beolab 5.
Yeah, the 9s are smaller than the 5s, and yeah, nothing makes sense.
But the 3 is bigger than the 4 again. So it's like, what the hell? Yeah, this was a
install.
It's not an install; it's a render because, like,
oh yeah, it is.
Like, where's the other 50, right? And also, like, why is the cloth touching the lens essentially?
Oh yeah. But I think the TV might be real. It's just the speakers are that they might be. I don't understand how the Lab 18 casts shadow on the wall that.
Because you have light going that way, right?
It's like fucking moon landing right there, bro. That's fake. And One Rock gave it all up, man.
I mean, it sort of looks nice, but where's your other Beolab 50? Like, this is such a weird setup.
A, B, it's like, why would you have a Beosound 2 sitting there when you know it's not battery powered even?
Yeah. And it
looks cool. It looks cool. That's all what it is.
Yeah.
Nothing's plugged in either.
Of course not. It's all phantom power.
It's new Tesla energy. They haven't made public yet.
I mean, this is a very interesting Beosound too. There's a lot of room in that lens.
Gooseneck like a son of a bitch, bro.
Yes.
It's a giraffe edition. Yeah, that's a little too much. Something got stretched in there, and I don't know what it is.
This is the thing, right? Like, with renders, it's like, yeah, it's fun and all, but your real products look so much better. Like, I don't understand. Why must it always be fake?
No, I don't get it either. Even Lego went back to taking actual pictures of their models when they put them on the box. They've gone back from renderings years ago. It just doesn't look as good.
Yeah.
Doesn't look real, no matter what.
I mean, BeoJohn had some sunlight coming into his place. Like, why not just do something like this? As far as I can tell, this is just taken by a phone or something, but it's better than the fucking render.
Yeah, it's a real speaker. You can see the power going down and everything, like, nicely installed. Yeah, there's a lot of that stuff. There's a lot of installations we do that, and it's my fault that I forget to take the pictures off, but they're just beautiful.
It's I don't understand. Maybe maybe nobody wants to, like, leave their job or home or something. It's bizarre, but
Indeed,
I don't get it. I mean, if you go with renders, you may as well get something like this.
Oh, what the fuck is that? These would be cool salt and pepper shakers.
This is some AI interpolation of what a modern BeoLab 5 is.
Yeah, but these would be cool salt and pepper shaker from the bottom, bro. God, yes, man. These would look cool because these could be machinable too.
Yeah, it's gonna be like $200-300 a unit.
Shot, fuck, at least B&O tax, brother.
I mean,
B&O tax is real.
these are a modern interpretation of your favorites, right? Because everything needs wood. Everything needs wood all the time.
These are kind of cool, actually. The BeoLab 4s. That's a new one. I would like the fabric ones more than the the wood. Maybe the wood from two sides and fabric on the front. That's cool looking, actually. Isn't it? I dig it.
I'd have to see them in person, but I've never really been a big BeoLab 4 fan.
Madonna tits, bro.
Yeah, I understand, but I'm not a Madonna fan either.
You know what? Madonna died for me on a BeoLab 5 installation back in Victoria Island, BC. I was with Brad one day, and we were doing. I sold a pair of Lab 5s to the guy, so we delivered them to the island with the Beosound 5. We set it all up, and then we had to link his master link into the BeoVision 10 across to the other room. And the first thing he does, man, he puts Madonna album, bro, but full volume almost, like to the point where we're like trying to pull cables. The fucking dust is falling on into our eyes from the floorboards because everything's just. And yeah, he killed Madonna for me that day. He killed Madonna for me that day, and then he killed the speakers too. He blew the tweeters before we even left for the ferry.
Oh, some people.
Some people. It was like, well, you know, I have Porsches. If I put a brick on my Porsche's engine, it would never blow up. I'm like, bro, tell me that again. You know, yeah, cold start your Porsche and put a brick on it. See how many RPMs you can pull out of it before you're towing that thing back to the man.
Yeah.
Lab Porsches do have a very clean sound. They're very underpowered, but they're great computer speakers. Or like I have them in the bedroom. They're great for that. They're not something that'll make a miracle out of, but for their time and era when they were co-designed or co-developed with the Beosound 4, they sounded pretty good when you tie in a BeoLab 11 to it. And I know if Karim's watching this podcast, he's rolling his eyeballs all the way to the back of his head, but they were good speakers back then. I don't think there was a point for them to be two different kinds, the PC and the PowerLink. They should have just stayed at one. But they were a good speaker. They still sound good, but like I said, they don't produce the bass, but they're definitely I think they go up to 41,500 hertz for whatever reason that high. I don't know.
It's just, it makes
no sense.
Yeah, well, the 3s were there at the time too, right? Like, why not use the 3s? It's like, I don't understand, but.
Well, because they were 3 times the price, I think, at the time.
Sure, but they look way better and they're much more.
They sound better.
Yeah,
and they sound much better. But
they could have made a cheaper PC BeoLab 3 version. Those would still be desirable now.
Or the S3s; those were good computer speakers. BeoPlay S3.
Yeah, those two. But it's. I mean, as a BeoLab, the 4s are just a bit sort of like out of place. Like,
No, to me, they were good sound effects channels. They were never a stereo set that I would buy to listen to. Like, you know, they're good for rear. And that's mostly the applications that I had used them when I sold B&O. We put them as the rear channels. Some people bought stuff like that just to listen to it, but you know, it's very small room and it has its own design language, I guess, right? But it's still not. It looks cool with the Beosound 4. I dislike completely the floor stands that were co-designed for the BeoLab 4s with that silver loom. Oh my lord, what the fuck was that, guys? Terrible. It was terrible. Actually, STB Bracket saved it with a adapter that fit on BeoLab 3 floor stands back then.
Seems like I'm not nuts. Almost nobody in our audience pays extra for sports.
No point.
Yeah, it's. I mean, everything's getting so expensive. Even the streaming, that was the whole cord cutting. We don't watch cable around here thing, right?
Well, I honestly starting to believe that the way that my habits have formulated over the years now with the YouTube subscription, that I basically supplemented the bullshit of network TV into something that I need to cater to myself with at all times, right? Because you got to look for the content to watch. Yes, I bypass the commercials, but do I? Well, I'm not fed nonsense because I do pick whatever I want to pick. But at the end of the day, that's the only time that I care to spend money on something, because I few times that I happen to unfortunately venture to my YouTube account or my girlfriend's YouTube account, but she doesn't have the paid subscription. Like the commercials are real, right? Like it's unfucking watchable for me now. I'm not used to that. But I don't see, it's the same. Like I'm not gonna be paying for Tidal and Deezer. There's no point to pay for both.
Yeah.
And I went back because it worked better with everything that I have natively, and more or less I debated that, like, do I stay with Deezer just for the sake of having the Beosound moment? But the Beosound moment is literally an IR receiver for my Beo remote keychain to turn on the rest of the house when I get home. It really is nothing to do with anything acoustics anymore. It's literally is an IR receiver at this point, and it'll die like that.
I mean, for me, it's a WISA transmitter, essentially.
Like, yeah, I'm sure that if I tapped and I could still join my theater and so on, but I just don't have anywhere to put it. And if time calls to, let's say, have a core put into my shape again, if I go with the BeoConnect core, like, to just swap it all, then I might keep that moment within that room just to trigger, like if it's going to be in the bedroom, just so it triggers the alarm. But at that point, like, do I really care for the core to have the new Mozart platform in it, or do I just have a moment with two wireless receivers in it, power link into the amplifier, right, and just have a stereo set with the shape? So I don't know. It's a thought process, but not something that is going to happen in this apartment, I don't think, because I already put the artwork here. Maybe I'll cut the big plywood sheet and mount the shape on the wall and make it height channels for the theater, because if I decide to stay longer here, I might take out everything from the storage and just unpack my Lego, because I'm already building me a bulldozer, and there's a couple more that I have in the pipe that's coming. August 1, there is a big Volvo hybrid excavator coming up. So fuck. I'm gonna have to get into that.
I mean, yeah, in terms of music, I have Deezer in because I'm happy with it, because I'm not that interested comparatively in like 1 point accuracy listening.
Mm-hmm.
Like most of the time I'm listening to Deezer, right? It's all the 50s going, and I'm literally outside with doors open and just go 50, 60 volume, something like that.
Oh yeah, they carry good.
I mean, I've been taking the A5 outside, right? But I've actually found that I still prefer to listen to the 50s around the corner.
It's like so much better, fuck.
Yeah, but it's also the driver size, right? Like, just the
bass.
Like a bigger driver sounds different, even though it's doing the same frequency.
Yes.
Like the A5 is very good at bass, and it sounds really good, but it's sort of like
your ear's spoiled by the 50s, man.
It's
you're spoiled by the 50s, like I'm spoiled by the 90s. Like for me, sometimes I don't even like to turn them on anymore, because it just ruins the theater for me, right, when I listen to it on its own. But it's just, they have so much power too that here it's more or less problematic for me. I need to still attenuate them a little bit more with the bass, because it's a little bit too much. So
Sam says that B&O lost $100 million. No, that's Danish kroner.
Danish kroners.
Like if they had $100 million, like USD, to lose, they would have come out with more stuff.
Yes.
They would also probably be the most wealthy audio company in the world if they had that much to lose.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not. It's Danish kroner. That's what their reports are in. So yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like astronomical numbers, but they're essentially not really. That's just where it's at. But I'm hoping. I don't know. I find the new CEO would make a big change. I think from the current one in a way to turn around the company, because I think the current CEO is more there to finesse the books and the promises of the investors than actually coming up with valid product.
I find it hard to say because you don't know who you're going to get, right?
Hmm.
It's because it may be more of the same. It may be more of a bean counter. Look, B&O was great when it was like led by its people and the engineers. And then at some point it
That got out of hand too.
yeah, but then we went into software, so then it was led by software engineers and the software kept crashing, and then we somehow decided to cut that all out, and then you're now busy with an app that's like half baked half the time. And it's kind of and then like seems now to be a bit run by accountants, right? And
Well, that's what
spreadsheet
I'm saying.
people.
That's what I'm saying. They just stare at the excels and stress. Or there is innovation, and don't get me wrong that there isn't, but I don't know. I would expect a little bit more to come up with the products while there's price increases are happening to justify something in R&D department, I guess, that we're, yes, it costs money, but we're researching stuff to put something else out, like a new audio master, which would be, what's it, fuck me, been years to cry for that since
But
the moment got discontinued, more or less.
I think I've been pretty what you call it, consistent on my point. Like, I don't mind them going in a very high net worth individual sort of price range. Just don't do it with shit that's been out for this long.
Yes.
Like, that's my real issue with it, right? Like, imagine buying a 10-year-old BMW and it's like 3x the price now than it was 10 years ago. And like on the interior and the tech, nothing has changed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, right? It's strange. Like every modern BMW is way more expensive than it was 10 years ago, and it's fine. But if you look at them, they're fucking spaceships compared.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more so like I've been saying this for years now. Go make some expensive shit new. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Start off crazy. Like make your Samurai Beolab 95 or whatever. Charge $500,000 for it. That's fine.
Put a new tech in it.
Yeah, I'll support you all the way. I'll even think it's cool, and I don't mind not being able to afford it. But it's a bit strange when like all of the stuff you used to make was in reach, and now it just isn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's just yeah. I don't know what to make of it. I mean, like an A9, right? Like just a pretty plain A9, 4,300 USD.
What did it come out like? I think it was $2,500 or $2,100.
Yeah. I mean, even the fifth gen, right, was like $3,300 like a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that hasn't changed anything in it other than now it's Mozart. So
Yeah, but I mean, the fifth gen has been out for a while. It's been out for like a year.
yeah, which also contradicts the point that like why wouldn't they put the Mozart in the Harmony then, right? If they put the Mozart in an A9 that's been around since 2012.
Yeah. I mean, and I like this, but here in the A9, right, like they actually changed quite a bit since the Mark One version.
Oh yeah, it's
So there is
acoustically improvements and everything else.
so
That was
this
more
in price
drivers.
going up, it makes sense, but within the same model, it going up so much is kind of strange.
Yes.
I mean, if the A1 was what probably $2,000 or something like that when it came out because that was big money back then.
The A9?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was 3,000 Canadian dollars back then, which was like 15 or 1,700 US, because the dollar was like, we were still in like relatively good economy in Canada. It was BT or before Trudeau.
I mean, yeah, and that you get more like when you go to the second gen, and then the third gen, and then the fourth gen, and because there was a lot of tech added and drivers and stuff like that, right? Like, so that kind of makes sense. But like this version as it is, the fifth generation has been out for like a year or so, but within that year, it's gone up significantly, and it's just a bit.
Sad.
Yeah, because before the last price rise, I think it was in the threes still, like 3.8, 3.9, something like that.
I don't remember, dude. There's been so many price increases now that it's just a big blur of numbers of what it used to cost.
Yeah.
So,
And you can only say so often, like, we only care about new customers, but like, there's only so many very high net worth individuals that you're going to run through them at some point, right?
yeah.
I mean, let's say you send them all a letter, like, do you want to buy our stuff, right? And if
Not all of them will.
yeah, but 10% of those will keep it, right? And then you send another letter next year, and it's like what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they say no more price rises from here on in, but I'm not confident by that at all.
Well, from here in for what, for 2025?
I have a feeling we're going to get another one by December.
Maybe it's gonna come in March of next year. After the demo sale, they're gonna jack the shit up again.
Yeah, or they're going to do
They'll keep
one
it.
of these pre-Christmas sales, right? Like order it before Christmas, just to get your stuff in for Christmas, so that you also miss the price increase. Because I think they found that increasing the prices and people knowing will actually drive up sales. Because
Oh, it definitely does. It's a big closer. It's
yeah,
definitely a good closer tool. But then it's not a dirty play from the salesman, but it's a dirty play from the BNO. Because salesman, at the end he comes out as a hero because I called and here, we were able to get it before shit went up in price.
I
But
saved you
still,
15% without even offering you a discount.
deal, yeah, just for you to move on it. So, what is this Skinny Plays website?
No, this is BNO.
Oh, cool. So what is this like?
Canvas
Here?
for your music. Discover more. Let's see.
That's a collab probably with somebody again.
Yeah, Mono Neon, whatever the hell that
Mono
is.
Neo, I guess. I don't know. Somebody that likes their mushrooms on the weekend, I would say.
It looks like it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Look at all that fractal nonsense, bro. Yeah, that's already trippy. And
American musician Mono Neon tells you everything you need to know. Experimental, funky, vibrant, and unique. Who is Mono Neon?
I have no fucking clue where they dug this guy up, bro.
Born and raised in Memphis, Mono Neon.
American artist.
Church gospel, Southern soul blues.
It's an American Dwayne Eric Thomas Jr., born on August 6, 1990. Professional as a Mono Neon is an American bassist, experimental musician, singer, and songwriter from Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
At least he grew up on some good bourbon.
Let's see the shop now.
Or did he? Or did he with all these patterns?
Holy moly! That cover is $525.
That's cheap comparing to Atelier, bro. Come on. That's
Yeah, but you go to Skinny Play and you pay like 150 or 125, I think.
yeah, but it doesn't have those tabs.
Ugh.
Oh boy. Yeah, I guess you're paying $450 for the box it comes in, I guess.
Wow.
Interesting. Jean Julien. There's another one.
Yeah, the French guy. But this is another weird thing, right? Apparently B&O has this collaboration going, but there's no promotion of it whatsoever. I only
even
just
on our
stumbled
Beo news, like I haven't seen this at all ever.
like I just stumbled upon it because I was looking at an A9.
That's very interesting. Okay, go next. He's still drawing the same shit.
Manon Cerazzo?
Manon
Cesaro?
Cesaro, yeah. That's pretty cool. She learned how to do shading in Photoshop.
Okay.
Pretty cool, pretty cool. Is there more?
No. Well, some apparently.
Interesting. I've never heard of any of these people.
This is another thing where, like, this is my perpetual gripe with B&O. Like, your marketing is so awful sometimes. Like, it's like
It's out of touch with anything, and especially the stores, because this should have been at least in a Bio News or something that this is what we're doing.
Let's go back to Instagram, right? Like, can I find any of this on your Instagram?
Okay, that makes sense why our campaign window is now A9, but it doesn't really say anything about anything.
I mean, it's still just scrolling. I don't know when it launched or when it was a thing, but I can't remember seeing this on Instagram at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is none of their art? Is the Year of the Snake? No, that's for the China market. Like, why is this not promoted anywhere, right? Like, it's just because it seems like you spent an awful lot of money on whatever you were doing with these three artists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they talked about
The covers are
balance
old.
is a
It's
bit.
just late to the party. Okay, how old is old? Because it's still
Yeah.
on the main for the
Main page.
because I still haven't seen anything, and we're what 33 weeks ago, like a year.
Like a year ago. Wow.
Okay. Okay. Still nothing. Still nothing.
Yeah, that's far back now. Oh, is that it?
Where?
That's the one, the red one that you just had.
Trying to look. No, this is on BeoLab 8 and stuff like that.
Nope.
BeoLab 8. Because I know this promo, the Riva, the 9000C, the Adder, or whatever the hell that was.
Oh yeah, the purple, or I mean purple, the teal blue, whatever it was.
Yeah. Which is sort of cool, but kind of weird, but it's fine. So, here's one of them, 62 weeks ago. It's one post. It's like, okay.
Where is it? I don't see it yet.
I mean,
oh yeah, there we go.
Dolphin says somebody needs to interview this man. I was like, okay. I don't even remember. Like, they could use their YouTube channel so much more.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, this one guy. Where are the other two?
That's it.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's literally one post.
That's interesting. I don't think that's it.
No, but I'm just checking because it's an A9. Because they also barely ever mention an A9 in anything.
I haven't seen much shape either.
No, you never see a shape.
It's interesting that they don't do that.
I mean, it's just. It seems like. Oh yeah. Look, we had more of this nonsense than the the A9 covers.
Yeah. I remember that. That was such horse shit. What was that? The cucumber man. Jesus.
But again, this was with Spotify, right? Like, which nobody uses anymore, and because like they kicked it out so long ago. It's like, it's also
It's
strange.
so weird, man. So weird. It makes no sense. It's like, is it a fashion? God, yeah,
Is this you? Because you're kind of prickly at times.
pretty much. It's so weird. I don't know. I don't remember. I think I did create an avatar with this nonsense.
Oh yeah, me too. I made several. They're just giving more and more ridiculous answers to music tastes.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was bizarre move on BNO's side.
But yeah, for this whole like special cover thing, like one post. It's like, what?
That's all there is, yeah.
I mean, they apparently still, like, if you press shop now, right, they still have them. So, like,
I wonder. One product, many styles.
So, yeah, well, whatever. It's, yeah.
6 of one, half dozen the other. They buried it hard. I don't even recall seeing any of that. And yeah, but again, 60 something weeks ago, for God's sakes.
I mean, that mono neon isn't exactly my favorite, but some of the other ones are kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is odd that they don't really promote much. Maybe they need to do another price increase so they can afford the Instagram people.
I mean, it also, in terms of Instagram, right? It seems like they're on the release schedule. Like they have
yeah, they have stuff to put out certain days, and that's it.
Yeah, and we don't put out anything else, and it's like we know like a month ahead of time what like your post on this specific like Thursday is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this. It's barely original, and it also seems to be. But this is a more a thing in general, right? Like it seems very, very spreadsheet driven, like everything.
Yes, it's too much spreadsheet.
I mean, the same for the app, right? Like when we spoke to these people, they literally said that they have like deadlines on when they should release stuff, and it's like, whilst I understand, I don't understand that you can go by deadlines when stuff clearly isn't working.
Just put it out, see what happens.
Yeah, but you also like somebody sets this schedule where like stuff needs to be done by, but like therefore it just is like it's done. We start doing something else, even if it doesn't work. It doesn't kind of matter. Like it works good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's an uber petty gripe, right? But like I still can't get a correct image for my theater.
That's fucked up, man. I
It's
still see that error every now and then.
It works, right? So I'm not like it works for when I'm using it, but it's you heard me complain to them personally about it, and they were gonna fix it, and even recently on Discord they told me it's fixed now, and it's like, oh yeah, and then there was like, yeah, it's so fixed you actually need to factory reset everything, and then it'll be fine. It's like, right. I mean, at this point, I just want to know, like, if it's not fixed, what are you giving me? Like, am I getting miniatures? Because I'll try it. But if I'm just going to spend another 5-6 hours on nothing, right, to end up in the same situation, what am I chancing? Because, like, otherwise it's functional, but...
Yeah, I've seen this in few places still, that we load up brand new, out of the box, brand new account, and it's just loads.
Stefan has it, but he fixed it by like literally migrating everything to a new account.
Yeah.
Like, is that really the solution you're telling me? Like, I have to get a new email address and like have my B&O on a new account because like somehow my account is corrupt on your end?
That's
Because
so
that's the
weird.
only thing I can think of that's the cause of this.
Or delete the account because you have a choice to delete the account. I don't know if that saves it in the cache somewhere in their server.
Well, what happens if you rejoin with the same email address? Like, does it not have a memory of?
That's what I'm saying. Like, does
Yeah.
it keep it in the cache, or do you wait now for whatever the solar eclipse to then reboot their servers? Or
Because also every picture is a silver theater with oak. Like it
yeah,
doesn't even
yeah,
matter if I choose black or whatever. It's all the same picture.
yeah. I have the same problem in some cases that I've done. But the odd thing is that I've had these issues with, let's say, when I take account control, right? So it doesn't load on mine, then it loads on mine, and it doesn't load on their iPad. And when I restart the app, it does load it up. So maybe that's the thing, that if you can take over, well, you need another goddamn account to give yourself an account access control and try it on the other device.
Yeah. I mean, Sigmund asks, is it to be expected that software should be flawless for those who pay that much for B&O equipment? I kind of do and I don't. Like, if it's little things, it's it's more of a like you need to polish this, but there will always be little things. That's kind of the nature of the beast, right? But like, then there's the basic things. Like, I haven't done it in a while, but I wonder if your theater still crashes out once you add Weiser speakers, because mine always did. They fixed that?
Yeah. When I do it on the new installations, no, I have no issues now.
I mean, that'll save me some time if I have to factory reset everything, because like I have so many bloody Weiser speakers.
Yeah, the only problem that I have with that is that, at least, well, not problem, at least that it's addressed now, that you can play sound out of each speaker that is linked.
Yeah,
However, you can't do that when you go into the speaker presets tuning with the microphone. So if you just want to have, let's say you have two pairs of eights, two fronts and two rears, but you want to make a triangle, right? So you just want to have the theater and the rears.
yeah.
You don't know which ones are the rears, because at that menu screen you are unable to play the sound unless I think you check or uncheck, and then it goes to if I believe correctly on the newer software, it's that way. But it was, for the life of me, like when we first did that, it was impossible to distinguish which speakers what. And we got to the point where if we're doing DPL or WISA, then we unplug all the rest of the speakers in the shop because we have three pairs of eights that are active. So in case of pairing the wrong ones in. So
Chris said they've not made anything generally enticing in a long time. Unfortunately, they've made room. We've made 2-room and use Sonos this time.
I don't understand that comment, but I understand.
Well, if you change to Sonos, I sort of understand that for the price, right? Because prices
Yeah.
are kind of. I mean, I was personally very much enticed by like the Beolab 8s.
And theater is
Yeah.
very enticing in my opinion. If anything, as far as the B&O goes, like, if it is a very high start price point, but if you want to start with, let's say, a B&O TV sound system and whatnot, that's the best way to do it. Because at the end of the day, you replace your panel maybe every 5-6 years, and that stays the same.
Chris said I'm not spending £8,000 plus on a soundbar, which didn't impress me. Granted,
to
but
each
that
their
much
own.
likely a dealer setup issue, right? Because if set up correctly, I can't fathom that you would not be impressed. But I do think you would maybe not be impressed for the money, which is a different outcome.
It's a different outcome, yeah. But
So
then again,
I'm
I
not
don't
saying
think
you're
that.
wrong. I'm probably more saying your dealer is wrong. But if I'm changing my or bedroom up at some point, I sort of agree with you, because for the room, I'm also not going to buy a theater. Like, I also like I've said this for a few weeks now. Sonos entices me more for like a bedroom setup. The new Arc Ultra with the Era 300s, like that would give you a surround setup that's crazy for less money than the stage or equal money. And if I were to, like, I don't know, use like the 8s or something with it, like, God, I don't want to spend 20 grand on a bedroom TV setup, right?
I think that depends on the use case, Chris. In my opinion, if you're putting a theater in the bedroom and that's the only soundbar you have, maybe it's a waste of money in a way because you're never going to use its full potential. But you also need to understand that that entire thing has, it's an entire AVR processor built inside with everything in it. So it's a completely different animal than normal soundbars are, which just they take a like Sonos just takes an optical out or arc, and then yes, you can make a pseudo surround with it with those two play fives or whatever they're called in the rears and so on and so forth. But it's not the same experience, and I guarantee you it'll never be the same experience as having a theater with a couple speakers on the side. And that's just it. And you have a native control, you have a much more elegant remote than whatever your LG screen comes with, and it's a different experience. It's the same thing. Fucking Rolex will tell you time probably less accurately than a Casio watch for $500-$300.
Yeah, one
But
of the digital ones.
because it's a quartz. But at the end of the day, it's what you prefer, and if it doesn't strike you as something that that's for you, it's just not for you. And I'm not here to say that you're wrong. Many people come to our shop and they just we don't have price tags because I think it sets a scary precedence, in my opinion, because people shut down before they even give this thing a chance to be explained to them. But yeah, I think it's for each their own, or to each their own.
We had the exact same experience, actually, because we had the BeoConnect Core with the 18s in the bedroom for a long time, right? Sounded great and is easily better than a stage. But because of how that setup was set up, you had to use the LG remote. And that turned out to be the biggest gripe, that you had to use the fucking LG remote.
I fucking hate that magic remote. God, that's why I bought on Amazon. I bought for $20. I bought the LG service remote. This white clunky rubbery button bullshit, but it doesn't have the mime thing in it.
Yeah,
I love it.
I mean, and it wasn't even just me, right? It was the missus saying, like, I really hate this LG remote. Like, can we please put the stage back? It's like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then like B&O remote back is like, sound is to hear, but like the control is like, it's so much nicer.
Yeah. Then so again, Chris, as if the stage had a device, but then again, it wouldn't be at that price point because now you're talking that you have to put an entire AVR processor in it, not just like this fictitious Dolby Atmos that works on, off of stereo, which is basically a 2.1 or 3.0 or 3.1 system. If you think about that, that is a subwoofer. But that's a different story. It's a completely different story because that cost production is completely different. Now you got to stuff way more electronics into it. And at that point, you need to also make the connection well bigger because you're going to have more than one HDMI going into it. So then the size of the requirements change completely to the product. And then, fuck, you full circle back to the theater. It's not the same cup of tea, right?
No. I just looked at the 8s and that price increase hits.
Yeah, it does. And aren't you happy that you got set of them behind you?
Yes.
So.
Well, I guess they got me unintentionally, but like, Jesus Christ.
I just don't have a place for them, man. I honestly like.
Nor do I, but I ended up with some. Look, I'm sitting here with 2 stereo sets, like literally next to each other.
Oh, Christ.
But, I mean, the basic ones, weren't they like 6? Like, literally a week ago?
I don't remember.
And wasn't this like 7 from memory? With the oak?
You need to get your ass up to Montreal and pick up your goddamn Lab 1s from me.
Oh yeah.
Go for a drive, bro. It ain't that bad. Fuck, Stefan did it. You can do it.
Yeah,
Some cigars. You gotta bring
Stefan
some
had
cigars.
stops in between.
Yeah. Well, stopped at your place too, but man, yeah, you gotta bring cigars if you're crossing the border for me for sure. For sure, for sure.
I'm not as smooth as Stefan. Yeah,
So,
like a here, baby. Every few $100.
oh boy.
Anyway, on that note, I gotta take a leak, so we'll call it for today. Hope
We're already
everybody
8 minutes overtime,
Yeah.
Connie's.
Oh yeah, God, may the 4th be with you and that sort of stuff.
that's right.
Maybe I
it's
forgot
today.
about that. Happy
Today
Star
is-
Wars Day, and see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.